Hello, back to the bottom. My name is Beast. Today we're back with IroSekai. I'm gonna just immediately say that I did actually mean to record yesterday. However, I did not sleep well from Saturday to Sunday, and I also had to write up applications, which also tired me out. So after I was done with applications, which was at like 6 to 7, I told myself, you know what? I'll like lay down for like maybe an hour or 2 hour nap, maybe. I proceed to wake up at like fucking 11 p.m. So, yeah, I decided that at that point it's not really as worth it. Like, it is actually quite late as well today. Today is 100% just because I got distracted, but it is still 10:30. So, I count that as being acceptable. I'm still gonna keep it short though because I do have a shift tomorrow. Anyways, repeat yourself, please, Suzu.
今日もみおちゃん様子が変だったね。
It's following day after dinner. Even after we all finished eating, we talked amongst ourselves for a while after. Save for me, who scurried off to her room at the first given opportunity.
ご飯を食べ終わったらまたすぐ自分の部屋に閉じこもっちゃうし、無反応ってわけじゃないんだけど、見事に心ここにあらずって感じだったね。
This all happened because you couldn't keep your mouth shut.
だって仕方ないじゃん。あの時はお姉さんもお姉さんなりに恥じらっていたわけで。
You, embarrassed. That's impossible.
昨日からゆうくんの私に対する態度がなんだかとっても冷たいよ。
Oh, have I?
大好きな幼馴染がちょっとからかわれたからってそんなに怒ることないじゃん。
Stop making stuff up.
ゆうまさん、ちょっといいですか？
Sure, what's up?
もしも私がいたずらの対象にされていたとしても、ゆうまさんは今以上に怒ってくれますよね。
In fact, now that I look at it, Mio didn't even eat all her dinner. In fact, she barely even touched it.
ひどい、無視されました。
Well, to be fair, you're literally like, oh, you like her more, you like me more than her, though, right? That is essentially what translated what you said. I too would just say I'm not fucking dealing with that right now. Kind of clings to Suzu's bosom. Like, that kind of shit, like, even is suspect to say when you're actually dating the person. When not even dating the person? No.
聞いてください、夏目さん。二人はいつもああして私を無視しちゃうんです。
かわいそうにね。こんなに可愛い子をいじめちゃうなんて気が知れないよ。
Not in the mood for your theatrics right now. The two of them take a seat sulkily. I don't honestly know what they were expecting to gain from that. In all seriousness, we need to talk about Mio.
確かにみおちゃん、全然ご飯を食べてないね。
Right, maybe she just didn't have an appetite, I don't know.
そういえば、お昼もほとんど食べていらっしゃいませんでしたね。
Really? I didn't know that. Susan and I were out on work-related business at lunchtime, so we weren't here. Work on this side, incidentally. We didn't travel to a parallel world. Was a job involving humans?
朝ごはんもあまり食べてなかったの。
Alright. Kyo nods.
ご飯をお茶碗半分くらい食べて、はーって大きなため息ついて、そしてもうごちそうさまってしてたの。
Maybe she's feeling under the weather.
体調不良？
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. It'd certainly explain her strange behavior these past 2 days.
それってあれなの？
What do you think it is?
恋の病？
Say what? Can't help but smile awkwardly. She's not the type to fall madly in love with someone.
何それ、おかしなことを言うね、君は。みおちゃんは誰も好きにならない。どこからそんな根拠が湧いてきちゃうの？
Note how he didn't say she doesn't fall in love. He said madly in love. He thinks he is not the type to fall for someone so hard she actively, stops eating. Huh? I don't know, it's just kind of an impression. Oh, never mind. He apparently is being that stupid. It was merely something I said without realizing it. Well, any deeper meaning behind it. So they can question me as much as they want about it, but I have no answer. What do you want?
相手が慣れ親しんだ幼馴染だからって安心してると、もしかするといつか慌てることになっちゃうかもよ。
I have no idea what it is you're trying to tell me.
そんなことじゃ誰かにミオちゃんを持っていかれちゃっても知らないぞって話。
Snatch away from me. What was I even supposed to mean?
それが嫌なら何か手を打っておかないと。ミオちゃんがそんなに大切だって言うのなら余計にね。私の言ってることわかる？
Kinda. After answering, I start to feel unease creep into my mind. Why is this happening? I feel this heavy anxiety all of a sudden. Don't know what the root cause of it is, but I know that it'll only continue to get worse. I feel so uncomfortable. Why is there this dark feeling in the pit of my stomach? I think I'm misunderstanding one thing though, Suzu.
何かな？
Mio wasn't really that special to me.
あれ？そうなの？
Sorry, it's not what I meant. I do care about her. She is my childhood friend after all. What I mean to say is that my feelings for her aren't what you seem to think they are. My words come out somewhat grumpily, being overly snippy with her despite knowing I have no reason to be.
はあ、それならもしもだよ。私がミオちゃんに合いそうないい男を紹介しちゃったとしても、それはそれで別に構わないってことなんだね。
What?
あのさ、ユウくんは知らないかもしれないけど、ミオちゃんって意外にってことはないかもだけど、結構人気あるんだよ。学園の生徒に限らず、いろいろと幅広に。特に商店街のじいちゃんばあちゃんは好感触なんだよね。いつもミオちゃんがここの買い出しとか言ってくれてるでしょ。
Good point. I guess she's been doing a lot of shopping for us as of late.
その時にミオちゃんは町内の人たちとよく話をするみたいなんだけど、ぜひうちの孫の嫁になってほしいからミオちゃんを孫に紹介させてくれって本人にだけじゃなくて私もそう頼まれたりするんだよね。
What? A bunch of old people want her to marry their grandsons? Who are these people?
さあ、どうだろうね。
I mean, to be fair, in my case, in my situation, even if I didn't like her, I'd be like, who the fuck are these people this day and age trying to get someone to marry their grandsons in order to marry into the family? Like, god fucking damn it. I know you're old, but I didn't know you were fossils. She grins
ユ
cheekily.
ウくんには教えてあげない。
Why are you messing with
プ
me?
ライバシーってのがあるから。
Well, whatever. Since when did you become a matchmaker anyway? I ask her casually as I stand up.
ユマさん、どこへ行かれるんですか？
To deliver dinner.
はい。お夕飯がどうかなさいました？
Well, Mio hasn't had any dinner. Start to rummage through the dining room pantry. That and, you know...
あれって何ですか？
She didn't eat much for breakfast or lunch either. That's definitely not good health-wise.
何か焦っちゃった？
No, not really. Truthfully, maybe a little.
焦ってるんじゃないか。
I leave the dining room without another word. Bring Mio's meal to her room, room 102. Oh, we actually have... There's actually open doors here this time. Did I never realize that? I always just thought like this was like a fucking hole, another hallway or something. Like I did not never realize those were just two additional rooms. Man, what the heck am I doing? She clearly isn't hungry, otherwise she would have eaten her meals. So why? Am I expecting her to magically change her mind once I come knocking on her door with food? No one wants to come over me. Maybe Susan's warning earlier really did spawn feelings of anxiety within me. No, that's just silly.
ミオが自分以外の誰かを好きになるなんてありえないって？
I don't need you to start teasing me about this too, Shinku.
ごめん。なんだかユーマが可愛くってさ。
What are you trying to say about me? That hardly sounded like a compliment to me. Anyhow. Right, back to the subject at hand. Mia must be starving right now. I mean, she's barely eaten anything this entire day. Plus, she's been acting uncharacteristically aloof. Maybe something's weighing on her mind. If there is. And what if there's anything I can do to help? As those thoughts course through my head, I arrive at room 102. You zoomed in on the door of 101. Huh? The door is open. Slightly ajar. See the light from within seeping through that tiny crack and illuminating the dark hallway. Hey, Mio, can you hear me? Both hands occupied, I can't knock. Attempt to push the door open using my shoulder. Then, suddenly,
ユーマ
hear Mio murmuring. Yep. Sometime before. Kiss. She was, having private time. Sorry I made you help me out, Mio. I know it's supposed to be my turn to cook dinner.
別にいいわよこれくらい料理作るのもう慣れてるし
You and I are in the kitchen together. We stand next to each other in front of the sink preparing the food for tonight's dinner. The rhythmic sound of the knife. Chop, chop, chop. The light sound of simmering food in the pot. Blub, blub, blub. Our shoulders touch. Our heartbeat quite quickly rises. Ba-dump, ba-dump, ba-dump. Mio? My voice comes out a higher pitch than normal due to my flustered state. I panic. What if Yuma can hear the beating of my heart right now? My face is red as a tomato, and the thought of that makes me feel so embarrassed. Yet all Yuma does is smile at me and comment on how cute I am. I smile back in return. What is this feeling? I'm not familiar with it, but it feels so blissful. A warm mixture of both happiness and embarrassment. Thanks for everything you do for me, Mio.
えありがとうって
Been such a big help ever since you moved in here. Life's been way too hectic as of late. This random maid appears out of nowhere and starts harassing me, and I've been having to help out my master with the work as always. On top of that, now I've suddenly found myself in the position of the dorm's acting manager. Been worried half to death with all this chaos and hullabaloo in my life now. I've been worried half to death that with all this chaos and hullabaloo in my life now, I wouldn't be able to cope with it on my own. Thankfully, though, I have you, Mio.
え
He then takes my hand in his. Make things so much less stressful. I feel happy when you're with me. His large palm is so warm.
どうして私がいるとユーマは
Is this the current situation? Is this the current, like, fantasy she's going through while just, you know, flicking the bean? Of course I do. Of course you do. I love you, Mio. Not as a childhood friend either. He blushes as he avoids meeting my eyes. It strikes me as a little endearing.
大好きユーマが私を
Yeah, I love you, Mio.
ユーマ
Mio. We gaze longingly into each other's eyes. Our faces draw gradually closer, pulled by some invisible force. All I can see now are his pink lips. Then our mouths touch and we kiss. I sit upright. I spring upright. I'm in room 102, my room. I look around. Yuma's nowhere to be seen.
ちょっと待ってよ
That was all a dream. We kissed. He and I. Yuma and I kissed.
どうしてあんな夢
I wonder. The answer, of course, is simple.
あんなゲームやるんじゃなかったかも
I never expected to see something that graphic. How scandalous a kiss. Under normal circumstances, I would have just dismissed it as being gross, and that would be that. However, I just can't get my mind off that game's final scene. It plays in my head like a never-ending video. Because of that, I haven't been able to focus on anything else. I keep inadvertently staring at Yuma's lips whenever I'm around him. It's unbearably embarrassing. It's gross.
でも
I just can't get that scene out of my mind no matter what I do. Now, to make matters worse, I'll be thinking non-stop about the dream I just had. Yuma calling my name, to which I reply, then we kiss. My face flushes as I recall it.
何よ
I flop down, burying my head in my
可愛
pillow.
いって大好きって何なのよ
He's never said anything even remotely like that to me in real life.
はあ
I
昨
sigh.
日はあんまり寝れなくてご飯を食べてついうとうとしてたらあんな夢を見るなん
A
て
dream like that. Think back to its details. It's too much. We're all around agonizingly on top of the bed. Yeah, I think we all know that that hand isn't going to be standing there for long. Either that one or that one. either or, really. Also, I think I have to actually take a screenshot here, because my guess is because this is going to be technically an H-scene CG. So the gallery isn't gonna have it, because it also didn't have the Kyo CG, where she's just lying on the bed next to the MC while still wearing her clothes. Where I already thought like, oh yeah, this is 100% a CG that has naked variations, and that CG is actually not in the fucking gallery. So I actually have to take a screenshot here. Ever since yesterday, I've been doing nothing but this when alone. Why? Something's wrong with me. How do I fix this? I love you, Mio. Yuma's voice from the dream resounds in my head.
大好き大好きって
I turn over, clutching my teddy bear. I roll back and forth endlessly until my forehead slams into the wall beside me.
もうやだ最悪バカみたい
Damadana! Sorry. I writhe in pain as I bury my head into my pillow again.
もう本当に最悪
The embarrassment from the game and the embarrassment from a dream combined, making it only that much worse. Man, it's an absolute mess right now. I think I might really be losing it.
大好き
One more time, I murmured those words to myself.
ユーマが私を大好き
After I've calmed down a bit, I sit upright again.
そんな権利私にはないのに
Still, I think to myself.
私がこんなに困ってるのにあいつは今も平気な顔して他のこと楽しく話してるなんて
All I have to do is imagine him talking to them with a smile on his face. I don't understand why, but it frustrates me so much.
ユーマのバカ巨乳好き
I punch my pillow. Saying it out loud only seems to make my frustrations grow. It's not fair. Why am I the only one agonizing over this?
不公平だよこんなのおかしい
I squeeze my bear as tightly as I can. Doing that at least makes me feel a little better.
キスユーマとキス
I have no right to do something like that with him. I'm aware of that. I really am.
でもちょっと練習してみるくらいいいよね
I sit upright again, holding my teddy bear in both arms are lifted towards my face. I gulp. The embarrassment is coming. Slowly, no one second thought, it's rushing in. But still,
ユーマ
look at the bear's head, which is roughly the size of a person, as I place my lips on its nose. This is practice. All I'm gonna do is practice this. There's nothing to feel embarrassed about. All I gotta do is call his name again. I can do it. I had already decided long ago that I want to give my first kiss to this boy. So I call his name once more.
ユーマ
I hold my teddy bear tightly, and then I kiss it. If, by some stroke of luck, if such an impossible situation were ever to become a reality, then I'm gonna need practice at least, so I don't end up chickening out due to embarrassment. Squeeze my eyes shut.
ユーマ大好き
I stutter stupendously, but decide not to do a retake. However, before I can continue, all of a sudden, I sense someone's
な
gaze.
んだろう
Upon opening my eyes, I immediately discover the source of that feeling. My body stops moving and my teddy falls. My brain ceases to function and my mind goes blank. Yuma is standing outside my room, peering in through the slight crack in the door. Mio? He stares at me slack-jawed. I kneel down and put my pillow back in its proper
い
place.
つから聞いてたの
Not too long?
どこまで聞いたの
He said something
私
about
の独り言
he said something about loving me.
そうなの
Mio? So, Mio, was that supposed to be serious? Earth to Mio? You okay? Fuck. I slammed my sheet white face into my pillow. Why did this have to happen to me? What's the matter, Mia? Are you in pain? Yes, I'm in pain. My head's on fire right now. I'm gonna die on bears with here. Oh! What do I do now? I stumble upon something utterly bizarre. As I was coming to bring Mio some leftovers, I caught a glimpse of her sitting on her bed whispering my name. So yeah, apparently she did not flick the bean. Nah, she totally flicked the bean, let's be honest. They just, like, skillfully cut it out. I'm convinced. Was she kissing her stuffed teddy bear's practice or something? Mind's swarming with questions right now. Why would she ever be doing something like that? I stand in a daze outside room 102. After Mio had pushed me out, pleading with me, threatening to kill me if I didn't comply, and yelling out multiple times that she was going to die. Pricking my ears, I listened. You can hear her sniffling and crying. That at the sound of something being hit repeatedly. You know, came at the worst possible time. If only I'd done the proper thing and knocked instead of being lazy about it. I'm so sorry, Mio. Unable to fix my mistakes, I'm left with nothing but regret. Despite that, though, I'm smiling. It's a curious thing. Even though I wasn't supposed to see that, I can't deny that it was incredibly adorable. I feel so giddy. Maybe that's why I'm smiling like I am. Feel bad for me, but honestly, I'm filled with relief. You know, you're crying in there. Some slams repeatedly against the other side of the door. Huh? I sit with my back against the door to room 102. That is a really nice CG, actually. Never mind, I did not have to take a screenshot of the earlier CG. This one's better. The MC was hit by the face stealer again, though. That's why I could speak with Mio through the wall. Then I brought her, had long since gone cold. Hey, Mio? Take a deep breath and say, let's go on a date. You're going on a date with me this weekend. She sinks into silence. It seems as though she's doing a double take to confirm that she really did hear what she thought she did. Do you remember her promise? She said you'd do anything I asked for. Any one thing if I passed my makeup tests. Let me guess, you forgot. Fancy you being the forgetful for once, huh? Forgetful one for once, huh? I plastered a wry grin across my face. I wonder what sort of expression she's making right now. I have no way of knowing that. Can't see beyond this wall. At the very least, though, I hope she stopped crying. Remember? I asked for a date with you as my reward. You and I would go on a date this weekend. Hear her voice faintly from across the wall. Oh no, of course not. I was serious. To use a phrase you're particularly fond of. Can't stand lies or jokes. There was a slight tenderness to her tone of voice, though she still seemed to be wiping away her tears. I know you told me to forget everything I saw in her today. Of embarrassment? She doesn't respond. However, I can sense that she's nodding on the other side of the door. Alright, well, honestly though, I kinda don't want to forget about that.
そんな意地悪言うの？
I'm sorry, you were just so cute.
かわいいって。
Voice comes out with a slightly high pitch. You know, some better yet left unsaid. Need to choose my words more prudently. If you say you're gonna die if I don't, though, well, then I guess I'll have to, one way or another. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think I can. Saying that made me way too happy.
嬉しい？
See, the thing is, I've never really been able to tell whether you liked me or not. I even seriously worried at times that you hated my guts or something. But after seeing what you did a minute or so ago, I feel a lot better. It's sort of dispelled all those doubts I had in my mind. So that's kind of why I don't want to forget about it. Even if you tell me to, I feel like I just can't. Plus, I got to see that hidden adorable side of yours. That I really don't want to forget.
バカ、余計なこと言うなって。
Shinka heaves a
そ
sigh.
ういうこと言うと、ますますあの子は部屋から出てこなくなっちゃうぞ。
Mio's fallen silent. Maybe Shinka was right and I shouldn't have said those things. Mio, are you listening?
聞いてる。
Alright. Good, that's a huge relief. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is basically talking to you, saying all this stuff to you. Well, it's pretty embarrassing for me too.
恥ずかしい？私に話すのが？
Yeah, I lean my head back against the door. It's a little embarrassing, frankly, saying something like that to someone I've known for so long.
あんなこと？あんなことって？
I'm talking about, you know, the thing that I... Fine. Scratch my head irately. Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Takes a lot of guts to tell a girl that you think she's cute, especially when she's your close friend and she's someone you've known ever since you were a little kid. That's what I was talking about. Oh boy. What I'm even saying. I get a feeling that once I'm done here, I'm gonna go back to my room and be kicking myself over this until morning. Still, that doesn't stop me from continuing. Can't stop now after how far I've come. Well, there you have it. I'm feeling extremely embarrassed right now. As much as you are, or possibly more. I know. It's like I'm not even myself right now, like my mouth had a mind of its own, and I'm saying all these things unwittingly.
言葉か。
I don't have a mirror on me to check, but I reckon my face is bright red right now. It certainly feels that way, at least. So, I guess... Don't you think this puts us on equal footing? You're both barring these embarrassing sides of ourselves to each other, almost like we're partisan crime or something. Bearing, not barring. I'm stupid.
ごめん。
Huh?
ユーマがそこで話してくれたおかげで少しだけ冷静になってきたけど、でもごめんなさい。明日になったら普通にいつも通りに戻ってるから、戻ってるように頑張るから。
Right. I'm sorry too. I know I kind of forced you to talk to me like this after you kicked me out. It was a little pushy of me.
ユーマ。
You? Suddenly I see your face peering sheepishly through a tiny crack in the door. I spot a hint of nervousness in those eyes.
デートの件だけど、
Yeah?
あの話本当なの？
Serious as in?
私とデートしてくれるの？
Well, yeah, I was the one who requested it to begin with.
そうよね。そういえばそうだった。でも、私でよければ付き合うから。
Really?
約束だもの。仕方ないじゃない。
I notice my lips curving into a smile. Oh, Mio, you're contradicting yourself. You can't stand lies and liars, can you?
そういうことかもしれない。
Okay. So, just to make sure one last time, we're going on a date. Jump her fists and thrust it in the air victoriously.
何してるの？
So I just kind of jumping with joy right now.
そんなに喜ばれても 困る。デートって言ってもただ一緒に遊びに行くだけなのに。
I know, but it's still incredibly exciting to me. I smile. This weekend's gonna be great. So, are you okay with letting me decide where we'll be going, what we'll be doing, and all that stuff? She nods. Sweet.
ねえ、もういい？
Done as in what?
それは
Mew closed the door a teensy tiny bit.
私だってその今は顔が多分真っ赤だと思うから、そんなのあんまり
Oops.
ユーマに見られたくない。
Right. What is this? What is this terribly awkward mood in the air? Anyway, I'm looking forward to the weekend.
私も
I'm gonna do a lot of planning to make this into the best date ever. You'll have so much fun you forget all about the embarrassment of the day.
分かった。でもね、今日のことはもう忘れなくてもいいから。だけどお願い、もう思い出させないでほしい。恥ずかしくて本当に死んじゃうから。
With that, Mio closed the
おや
door.
すみ。
Good night. I turn my back to room 102 and walk away, taking the freezing cold food away with me. Hopefully by tomorrow, Mia will be back to her usual self. At that point, I suddenly remember that teddy bear which she practiced kissing on. Lucky bastard, why couldn't that be me? He no longer has the right to claim that he does not like her, considering that he is currently acting jealous of a fucking teddy bear. Once Yuma has left, I sit down on the bed. My mind's just kind of gone blank. Can't think straight whatsoever. Still, there's one thing that remains clear. It wasn't in a video game. Nor was it in my dreams. Yuma told me that he thought I was cute.
私もしかしてまだ夢見てる？
I pinched my cheek to check. Despite my doubts, I could feel the pain very keenly.
夢じゃない。夢じゃなかった。
What a relief. As much as I'd like to forget all about how Yuma caught me in that embarrassing act, as much as I want to forget about it. If it had all been nothing but a dream, I more than likely would have started crying
か
again.
わいい。ユマが私をかわいいって。
What do I do? What do I do?
なんだかこれって。
Much more than I anticipated.
嬉しい。
Can't help but break into a smile, ironic as that is, considering that only moments ago I was ready to mark this down as the worst day of my life. Oops. Yes, then I remember.
ユーマ、私、幼馴染はもう嫌だよ。
That was what I said in the game. So, still cuddling my teddy bear, I flopped down sideways onto my bed sheets.
ユーマ、私も幼馴染のままなんてもう嫌だよ。
Feel a sharp stinging pain in my chest. I know that I'm asking for some that I don't deserve to have. I'm his childhood friend, yet I'm not. Given the contradictory nature of our relationship, I don't deserve to have anything more with him. I know and accept that. You know what, actually? I suddenly have an idea. Quick save. Load.
この町にはね、魔女が住んでいるんだよ。
Imprint the visage in my brain, then quick load. No difference, actually. I'm still kind of suspicious on this. Like, I'm still, like, kind of feeling that this is not actually the Mio that I just went back to see the save for. It's totally some wrong. There's totally something wrong with me today. I haven't been acting like myself at all.
だけど今日はなんだかうまく眠れそう。
Close my eyelids. Right now I'm more excited to see tomorrow than any dream. Time to write in the diary. Flip open Jingu's book on my desk, read into detail the events of the day.
今日は私の助言がなくても日記を書けるみたいだな。
Yeah, today was a good day. I'm confident I could write about what happened fairly easily. Right. Mio said my name aloud and kissed her stuffed bear as practice.
何ニヤニヤしてるんだよ。
I was not. I just happened to remember something particularly pleasant that happened today. It's got me feeling jittery right now, all of a sudden. We agreed to our date this weekend. I promised that I would craft together some so fun and excited she'd forget about today's embarrassment.
そうだな。ユーマはあの子にそう約束してた。何かいいアイディアがあるからそうしたんだろ。
In all truthfulness,
違うのか？
I don't. I haven't thought of any ideas whatsoever. My list is totally blank right now.
それじゃあなんであんなこと言ったりしたんだよ。敵もしないような約束をして一体どうするんだ？
You know, when you have a leg to stand on, I just thought it was the right thing to say at that point in time. I scratch my head as my eyes wander around the room. Eventually, my gaze falls upon the calendar on the wall beside me. I didn't have to have something marked on it for next weekend.
どうした？何か気になることでも見つけたか？
Yeah, can I ask you something first, though?
なんだ？
How come you're not sitting in my lap today, Shinku?
もうユーマも日記を書くことくらい一人でできるようになったみたいだしな。
I don't...
ない。なんて甘えたことは許さないぞ。それはそうと、ミオと出かける週末はどういった予定を考えていくつ
I
もりな
do
んだ？
like that Shinku at this point is just like, you know what, he likes her, I'm gonna not take a set on his lap. Like he's currently in the process of realizing his feelings for Mio. I'm gonna not confuse him by being overly physical with him. I haven't decided yet. Well, hadn't decided. I think I might have stumbled across something that might work.
いいもの？
I nod, pointing towards the calendar. It's a year-long calendar which notes various events and happenings going on in our world, in other worlds. Coincidentally enough, it seems that there just so happens to be a summer festival being held this weekend in the merchant town.
夏祭り。なるほど。悪くないかもしれないな。
Yeah, festivals are pretty standard for dates, so I think it'd be a safe bet either way. Though I certainly wouldn't mind taking a day to just leisurely amble around this town together. Sometimes it's nice to do something different for a change. I need to do a bit of prior research so I know what to expect. Then I can begin to plan where I should take her and what I should do with her on the day off. Still though, there's one small concern that I need to sort out first. Issue that I absolutely need to resolve before we can attend the festival this weekend. If I invite Mio to the summer festival, if I do, then I'll have to take it to the merchant town, which means going to the basement together. I know I'm kind of stating the obvious, but still.
異世界についてミオに説明をするのが大変なんだ。とかいうようなことじゃないよな。あの
Well,
子にはあまり異世界と関わり合わせたくない。
that might be it. It's a delicate issue for given what happened in the past. So I need to tread around it carefully. Oh, what happened in the past, you say? But again, it's been how many years since then? Part of me thinks it might be okay to tell her about them now.
大丈夫？その
Nothing
根拠
particular,
は？
really. It's just a sort of hunch. It's a while since then, and she's not a kid anymore. So I think maybe she'll be able to handle it. Though if the trauma from back then still lingers in her mind and she keeps avoiding them at all costs, she'll probably never overcome her fear of them for the rest of her life.
そうだな。そういうこともあるかもしれないな。でも、如月美桜にとってそれは本当に苦手を克服しなくちゃいけないものなのかという問題もあるけれど、あの子は、如月美桜は異世界について今以上を知る必要が本当にあるのか。個人の尺度で正しいと思うことを、それが君のためだからと善意のつもりで差し出してしまうのは、ただの身勝手な自己満足にしかならない場合が得てして多いぞ。
Yeah, I get your point, Shinko. The first thing you need to do in this case is remember everything that happened down to the last detail. Use that as a starting point to make my decision. Following that, I quickly finished up my diary entry for the day before flipping back through Shinko's book. Doing so I can recall what happened on that day. Vividly. Distinctly. Flipped a page from many years ago to a memory from a time when I was still so very young. Once I read it, it all comes back to me as if I'm reliving this day in a dream. Who are you? Her voice from that day echoes in my head. Oh, did she also lose her memory at some point? That's why she continuously is like, I don't know what you're talking about. What the fuck you... Yesterday's me and the witch who reads the witch's handbook. And that's why she's continuously like, what the fuck are you talking about with the... where the ocean and horizon meet, which one is further. Because she actually, like, forgot a little bit. On that day, my childhood friend Kisaragi Mio had taken me along to meet the witch. The witch taught me the secret trick I needed to remember and retain my identity from day to day. The solution was to keep a diary, an entry written before the day of the end of each day. More specifically, that would mean before I went to bed. The translucent sorceress Nikaido Shinku and the book which appeared along with her. I would write my entries on its blank pages. Thank you so much, Miss Witch. Now that you've taught me all this, I'll be able to live through each day.
そうか、そいつは何より。よかったな。
The young witch replied curtly. As usual, she sat still on the windowsill, engrossed in a rather thick book. If I asked you why exactly the diary helps me retain my memories, would you provide me with an answer?
さあな、自分で考えろ。というか、こんなのは誰かに教えてもらったところで、正しい理解を得るには難しいんだよ。特に、今のお前には。だからもう少し大きくなったら教えてやるよ。それにふさわしい時が来たらな。
Insane how much Suzu changed because, like, we know the modern Suzu. This Suzu looks like she listens to Slipknot. You know, I guess that's the best like explanation without outright stating it that I can muster up. Anyhow, from that day forth, I decided to pen a diary. I had to if I wanted to keep my identity and stay me for longer than a day. Even if I didn't understand the process through which it allowed me to retain memories, I would do it without a question. There was no point in constantly asking questions of why at that period in time. As long as it netted me immediate results, nothing else mattered. The witch was reading a book. In fact, now that I thought about it, she'd never stopped since we first arrived. Oh right, that reminds me, recently found another manga that's just the writer's blatantly unobscured fetish. And there we go. Maho to boku to dekkai shisho, or Magic, Me, and My Big Master. I think the best way to, you know, encapsulate what the fuck this is about is, hold on, let me just do this real quick. A lot went down here. Did I go back past it? Oh yeah. There we go. Let me just whoop. And whoop. I could close this again. There we go. So yeah. As I said, the writer's poorly disguised fetish. It's also like one of the earlier chapters is also has the young boy that's the apprentice like accidentally knock over her cauldron while cleaning it out and like scrape his knee and break off the fucking handle of the cauldron. He's like desperately trying to fix it. She just suddenly picks him up like, we need to take care of your scraped knee. He's like, but your cauldron. She just snaps her fingers. The cauldron disintegrates. There is no cauldron to care for. He just carries him to her room, lays him on her bed, just like treats his scraped knee, walks outside, and then just like completely fucking giddy over the fact that he's in her bed to the point where she like trips, and the next panel is just her lying in bed next to him with like bandages over the head and like a fucking cast around her neck. Anyways. What are you reading?
百科事典。
Is it interesting?
さあな。魔女は魔女なりに知りたいことがたくさんあるのさ。魔法を使うには膨大な情報量が必須なんだよ。頭の中の情報量を無差別に増やしていくことによって説得力がぐっと増す。それがお前の言うところの私の魔法なんだよ。
Oh, okay.
嘘だけどな。私は別に魔法なんて使えない。お前が期待しているだろう素敵な奇跡なんて起こせない。魔法の使えない魔女なんて聞いたことないだろ。
I don't know.
お前も何か知りたいと思うなら本を読め。そうすればわからないことが少なくなるし、できないことも少しずつ少なくなっていく。
Reading is especially beneficial for someone like you. The more you read, the wiser you'll become. It's as simple as that, the witch proceeded to tell me. I'll become wiser. Will I get anything good out of that?
何がいいことなのか、悪いことなのか。自分には何が不要なのか必要なのか。そしてこの世界がどれだけ面白い場所なのか。その判断ができるようになる。それも賢くなるってことの一つの答えだろ。
I cocked my head to one side, which gave a faint smile. It's the first time I'd seen her smile that day.
これ、おすすめだぞ。とても面白い小説だ。
Okay. Took the book from her and began to read through it. It was set in the distant future and told the story of a young man who had been enlisted into the special forces of a powerful nation. The government had tasked him with hunting down a certain man, a lone wolf terrorist who controlled people's minds via the special power of his words, his aim to shake the very foundation of the global world order. That was the gist of the plotline. To me, however, it seemed to be a tale of the protagonist's search for meaning in his life as he traveled from battlefield to battlefield all across the world.
子供に読ませるにはさすがに少し難しいんじゃないかな、このお話は。
Blinked as the sorceress's words echoed in my head. Do you live in this place by yourself?
いいや、管理人がいる。でもまだ出会える時じゃない。
Huh?
もう少しで出会えるさ。私もお前も今よりもっと大きくなったらな。
So what you're trying to tell me is that currently she's literally just fucking... She's just a squatter right now. They lived together but had never met. The things the witch said were always a bit peculiar, and had trouble making sense of them. We both sat there and read books until the sun began to set. Just like the witch had said, it felt as though I had gradually become able to do things that I couldn't before through the help of books. The first star was already twinkling up in the sky. That was when the witch closed the book in her hands with a snap.
私は仕事をしようと思ってる。
Witch looked up at the darkening sky outside the window as she spoke. You work?
なんだか事情はよくわからないが、近所のガキどもがよくこの寮に忍び込んできては、私に何か願い事をするんだよ。それは昨日言って聞かせたよな。そして誰もがお前たちみたいに読み終わった本を持ってきては、お願いです。どうか私たちのお願いを聞いてください。とかなんとか言いやがる。一体何の儀式なんだよこれは。って呆れちまう。私は本から得られる情報を食べて生きているようなものだけど、それでも体は知識じゃ大きくならない。そろそろそういうのにも嫌気がさし始めていたところなんだ。だからこれを仕事にしてやろうと思ってる。持ち込まれた困難な依頼をこなす何でも屋とか、そんな感じだよ。
You're treating us work even though you're sick of it?
あ、そうだよ。嫌だ、うざいな、もうやめろよ。ここには来るなと拒否しても、困ったことや不自由を抱えるガキどもは溢れてやまない。それなら、私も仕事と割り切れば、まあやってやれないこともない。
Oh. You seem like a kind person.
ちげえよ。そんなんじゃない。ただ私は暇なだけなんだ。私が私としての役割をこなすのはまだまだ先だろうし、この体が必要十分に成長するのもまだ先だ。
There's absolutely something going on with Suzu.
ともかく、これからは困ったガキどもや、それに限らずいろいろな奴らを助けるために動こうかと思う。だからこれから私は留守にすることが多くなる。ここの本なら好きに読めばいい。
Yeah.
私の言いたいこと、わ
I
かるな。
I put down the book which I'd finished, to which I'd been incredulously remarking, "Wow, someone's a fast reader. You're already on your 5th book." Were they interesting? She went on to ask. Yes, I replied. What do you think of the first book I had you read? Well, it really made me consider the power of words. Depending on how you use them, they can even become a weapon to kill with. Maybe that's an overstatement, but anyway, the message I got was to always be careful of what you say to others. Yep, the witch responded. But it got me thinking. If you can use the words to potentially kill others, could you not also use words to bring people happiness? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Congratulations, you pass. The witch smiled and rubbed my head. Say.
なんだ？
Would it be alright for me to help you with your work too?
どういうことだ？
I haven't probably thanked you for fulfilling my requests. I was thinking I could tag along with you wherever you go and help you, maybe as something like an assistant. Would you be okay with that, Miss Witch?
好きにすればいいさ。
Thank you.
でも一つだけ条件がある。私を魔女とか呼ぶのはもうよせよ。恥ずかしいだろ？
You don't like it?
ダメ。
Okay, I'll call you Master then. The book I just read taught me about. Apparently the person who teaches the less experienced persons the secrets of their craft is called Master.
なるほどね。師匠か。魔女よりかはまだ幾分マシか。それなら最初の教えだ。今日から僕はやめろ。俺にしろ。
Why is that important?
これからの私たちは どうしようもない悪党と戦ったりすることもあるかもしれない。実際これまで私はそういうことが何度かあった。それなのに僕なんて自分を呼んでたら相手に舐められちゃうだろ。
Really?
そういう場合もあるって話した。人間ってのはいろいろなタイプがいるから。それにもっともっとお前を人間らしく普通に馴染ませていかないといけないな。一緒に仕事をするというのなら余計にだ。
So make sure you keep reading daily, the witch added.
学校の勉強とかは一切できなくてもいいから。そんなものできる必要はまるでないから、今はただただ本を読め。この世界に一刻も早く馴染んでいけるように。
So she's at fault. I understand. So what should I mean, what are we gonna call ourselves? The jack of all trades?
そうだな。私たちの目的は困った人たちを自由にすること。逃がし屋なんていうのはどうだ？何でも屋ではなく、殺し屋でもなく、逃がし屋だ。世の中にはそういう仕事もすでにあるみたいだしな。
The witch, my master, smiled mischievously. Yeah, I think it's a great name.
だろう？いい暇つぶしくらいにはなるさ。私たちが大きく成長するまでの暇つぶしくらいには。
By the way,
どうした？
have you seen my childhood friend Kisaragi Mio? I knew that she was here with me when I arrived, but I've been so focused on reading and talking with my master that I hadn't noticed she wasn't here. Only when it came time for me to leave and go home did I realize.
どうだろう。知っての通り、今日の私はお前とずっと一緒にここにいたからな。あの子、今日もお前と一緒にここへ来たのか？
I nodded. I told her I was going to your...
俺。
I told her I was gonna go to your room, so she said she was gonna explore the dorm in the meanwhile.
寮内を探検？
Master immediately frowned
それ
worryingly.
は少しだけまずいな。
Master then stood up and led me straight to the dormitory's basement.
やっぱりな。柱時計をいじったか。
Sigh escaped her.
子供ってのはこういうところで妙に勘がいいから困る。
I didn't make the opposite quip that she was still a kid herself. According to the book I'd read, you never question what your master said.
さて、少々入り込んだ問題が発生してしまった。あの子は迷子になってしまったのかもしれないな。
To be fair, let's be honest. But a fucking dumbass child Mio is, because she saw a clock in the basement and was like, I'm gonna fuck around with it. Like any child, even if this was a normal clock, would get a fucking smack to the back of the fucking head because they decided to mess with the fucking clock, and now someone has to goddamn readjust it to go correctly. What?
師匠からの教え、その2だ。よく聞けよ。
My master, Natsume Suzu, proceeded to explain to me that this dorm's basement was connected to a myriad of parallel
こ
worlds.
の寮の管理人がそういう風に作ったんだ。この建物を。
The manager
そ
did.
してその異世界への鍵である柱時計がいじられてる。きっとあの子は子供らしく無用な好奇心と発揮される必要のない勘の良さを働かせ、扉の鍵をいじってしまったんだろう。
So Mio's lost in one of those parallel worlds right now.
そうだな。そういうことになる。そんな顔するなって。私を誰だと思ってやがるんだよ。魔女だぞ。そしてお前の師匠だ。最初の仕事にしてみれば悪くない。
What do you mean?
行き先は分かってる。時計の針が示してる。ちょっくら行って探してくるよ。あの子のことを。
The witch smiled. I remember thinking at the time that she looked prettiest when she smiled.
それじゃ、行ってくるな。
You're going barefoot.
裸足で
Shouldn't you at least wear sandals or something?
平気だってこんなの。ちょいと言って帰ってくればいいだけの話だ。そうだろ？
But you'll hurt your feet if you step on anything sharp.
しょうがないな。お前がそこまで言うなら。
There were pairs of shoes in the basement for visiting different worlds. My master, Suzu, found some sandals and put them on. Wait right here. I'll be back shortly, he instructed me before opening the basement door. Beyond that door lied a completely different world. A few hours passed. I fetched a book from the witch, my master Suzu's room, and I'd been reading it as I waited. Eventually the door opened and she returned with Mio in tow. Thank goodness. There were no visible scratches or wounds. She seemed to be alright. I was really worried that some might have happened to her, given that she'd gotten lost in some completely foreign world.
最初の仕事としては守備は上々といったところか。報酬は明日からお前が私のために食事を作ってくれるっていう契約で構わないぞ。
The witch was in a good mood. It seemed I wasn't going to have to start cooking for her though, as I'd better start reading some cookbooks.
そうだな。そうすることでお前は何でもできるようになるからな。学校の勉強だとか、自分の嫌いなこと以外なら何でもな。
The most important things in life are the things that you like, the witch said with a smile. Why'd you wander off like that, Mio? You shouldn't go exploring unfamiliar places on your own. You could have gotten seriously hurt. My rescued childhood friend stared fixedly at me. Mio? Some didn't quite seem right with her. What's the matter? Are you alright? Finally she spoke, albeit with a clear timidness in her tone.
一つだけ聞いてもいい？
Hmm?
あなたは誰？
I closed Shinku's book. Who are you? At first I thought it had been Mio's idea of a sort of spiteful practical joke, to get back at her friend, me whose memories were set each day prior to meeting the witch. For all intents and purposes I only existed as who I was for a single day. The person who was the day before was no more, and whether or not I would wake the next morning as Mio was always an uncertainty. I failed to realize how much that hurt Mio, which is why I thought she was asking who I was to get back at me for that. So initially I wrote it off as just a mean-spirited prank. That turned out to be wrong. Mio had actually forgotten about me entirely. To be more precise though, she forgot about me and only me. She remembered everything about Suzu, about the dorm, and about the town. So why did she just completely forget about everything related to me? It's just like a part of her mind had been wiped clean. The immediate thought was that something had happened to her in that parallel world. Suzu and I asked her repeatedly about that, but she simply tilted her head in confusion and said that she didn't know, with a somewhat somber expression. I sigh. Maybe the trauma isn't on Mio's end, but on mine. In the end, her memories never came back. She never remembered how we gazed out at the sea's horizon, or how we ate lunch together on the breakwater. She completely forgotten every detail about me and the time we'd spent together. Someday we're going to become childhood friends, real childhood friends. I still remember how she'd once said that to me before she lost her memories.
関係性を先取りするの。神様とか運命とかそういうものに宣言するんだよ。私たちは幼馴染になりますよって。
That's why after all that happened, I proclaimed to her, I'm Yuma, Kaona Yuma. Someday you and I are going to become childhood friends. From that day onward, I started to create new memories with the new Mio. Just as I promised her, we've stayed friends ever since then, and we are real childhood friends now.
ここでこうして並んで座って海と空を見ていた時と何も変わらないんじゃないかってそう思ったの。
And now it finally looks like our prayers are being answered. Little by little she started to regain those memories of the time we spent together that were lost to her. Despite that, what if I take her to another parallel world again, and when we come back, she has no idea who I am? What if we have to rebuild our relationship from the ground up once again? Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. It's not Mio who needs to get over her fears, it's me. Who are you? What if she looks at me and asks that again? Probably burst into tears right there on the spot. That's why I've been doing everything in my power thus far to keep Mio away from parallel worlds and not mention anything of them to her. And there's also one of the reasons why when she first mentioned her intentions to move here, I was slightly worried. I lie my head on the onto the desk and close my eyes. Should I go to the festival with her or not?
そこまで悩むようなら、無理をして異世界の夏祭りにこだわる必要もないんじゃないか?
Yeah, I mean, I know that. But part of me feels like it may just be an inevitability. I feel like at least until she and I graduate, if Mio continues living here, this whole issue with her and the parallel world is going to blow up sooner or later. The only question is when. Mio knows of the existence of those worlds, of course. She has to know the secret of the dorm's basement. After all, she got lost in one of those worlds as a child. But I've been actively working to keep her away from those, both physically and mentally, ever since. What happens when that fails, though? What happens when she inevitably comes into contact with them again? Will some catastrophic accident occur, the likes of which I can't even imagine? Just the thought of that, if Mia were to never recover from the damage, all because I deliberately kept her in the dark and avoided telling her crucial information about the parallel worlds. Yeah, that'd be really awful.
そういうの?
I was just thinking that maybe I should get her more comfortable with parallel worlds. I mean, if all she's doing is dipping her feet in.
なるほど。そうすればユーマも少しは安心できる?
Hope so. Definitely be the ideal outcome. Well, racking my brains over it won't get me anywhere. I've already thought about that day more than enough in the many years it's been since then. I'd like to believe so, at least. Nothing I do now is going to change anything. I'll invite me to the summer festival. I stand up, then I prepare to head out.
どうするんだ?
I'm going to cement our plans for this weekend. I'm still a bit nervous about things, but the most important thing is that Mio enjoys this. After that, I make my way down to the basement. Travel to the merchant town, which is connected to our world at 2 o'clock 45 minutes. In order to gather more information about the festival. Soon enough, the weekend arrives. Nah, it was the weekend just now. It can't arrive that fast. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Fuck. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, then. See you next time. Bye-bye. I know I'm looking like a psychopath there.